on Tuesday, December 10th,
They need these over there?
2019.
Good morning, Bill.
Morning, how are you?
Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Commissioner Brennan,
Here.
Commissioner Bowles,
Here.
Commissioner Graver,
Here.
Commissioner Porter,
Here.
Commissioner Dorian,
Here.
Commissioner Middleton. Here. Chairman Geisler.
Here.
Sir.
Did you not get one of these?
Okay. Administrator, you're on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm going to try and get through this kind of quickly because I know we got a lot to accomplish in
Maybe
an hour.
he gave me.
Talked a little bit at the last executive meeting about us changing over the lights in this building to LEDs. The entire first floor has been changed over now.
Including in here?
Yeah. And let's see, moving down to the jail, a little bit of an uptake in inmates, mainly hours this month.
Oh,
Christmas time.
Ice storm last week. On Sunday, we did lose power out at the Juvenile Care Center. We lost it for 48 hours. The generator operated just beautifully out there, and we had little to no interruption. The building is set up so that if you've been out there, you know, the one side is administration, and in the back it's secure detention. The other side is day treatment. The generator operates detention and administration, but not day treatment. So effectively, day treatment kids just don't come to the Juvenile Care Center if we don't have power. We did lose power in this building. I was actually here from about 2:30 to 8:30 on that Sunday. I think we lost power at about 7:30-ish. I texted Beeson. He had just gotten an alarm. Lucky for me, my office is one of the only ones on generator in this building, so I could keep working.
sure.
However, you know, we were in a potential situation where if our power didn't come back on right away, we would have had to make a decision about closing this building on Monday. We can't operate this building on generator alone with employees in the building.
Yes.
Back on the JCC.
Yeah.
Do we have a plan B if that generator went out?
We've rented generators before, yes, so we could rent a generator.
Okay.
They come right in a trailer.
Yeah, they bring it in a trailer. We had the same issue out at the jail a couple years back, and we did the same thing.
Do we have priorities when we rent? Because everybody rents these things.
Actually,
good
they
question.
don't. They actually don't rent these huge things very often.
Oh, the big
because-
ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Where do they come from, Bridget?
I knew you were gonna ask me the name of
Judd's?
that. What is it?
Judd's?
No. It's
No, bigger than
This is
that.
big.
Like
I
big.
can't remember. We actually had an issue with them too, that we mitigated through our insurance company. I can't remember the name of them, the company gave, but,
Out of Midland?
Something out of maybe Flint or.
no, it's regional.
Is
It's
that-
not in Midland, I don't believe, but it's regional, so. But so again, if we lose power, we can't open this building to the public, and our employees should stay home. Courthouse, we did it right during this last renovation. That building can remain open on generator. They can do just about everything they need to do on in that building. Consumers website actually said that the courthouse was without power, but when I left here at 8:30 that night, Kevin asked me to drive around back, and I shut my car off and everything to see if I could hear the generator running, and it was not. So, and all the lights were on, the emergency lighting was all on in the building, so we had power at the courthouse. I don't know that we ever lost it. So, just some things to consider when Mother Nature decides to throw a little fit.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Have we ever done a dry run at the courthouse without power so we can see if we can access servers and all
I actually think that Kevin did that on a weekend before, when we were just done with construction. Yeah. Moving on to community corrections. Number 7, the My Hope team met with a couple people out at the hospital to see if there were any potential opportunities for our participants to have employment there. And Colleen Markle and Greg Rogers reached out last week and said that they would take a couple. 2 My Hope probationers with stable hours, and if they have success with that, they're gonna look at expanding the opportunities. So that's really a great partnership with the largest employer in the community. Equalization, CPI numbers have been finalized for 2020 and are at 1.9. Emergency management, Jennifer did participate with the hospital. Their emergency exercise was a radiological emergency exercise. That went really well. I know the hospital from being on the hospital Midland campus board. They just had a group of folks come in to do quality review, and they happened to have been here while that exercise training was going on, and they were very impressed with it. They actually took a lot of the things that they saw at the hospital as best practice and are going to be sharing that with other hospitals around the state of Michigan. So that's great. Under finance, budget, and administration, as part of the community success panel, we have carved out a small committee of people to go through this process. How many of you have heard of the Baldridge Excellence Awards? Scott? So they have small business awards, they also have community of excellence awards. It's really not, we're not as concerned as a group about getting an award for the Midland community, but more about utilizing the framework. All of those go together.
These are all
Sorry.
different.
Yeah, because they all go together. I just thought you could look at all of them.
Go ahead.
And I can send you the link if you're interested in it or not. But we, do any of you know Kristen Stayhauer from out at Northwood? Yeah, Kristen is actually a panelist. She's a judge for the Baldridge Awards. And she came to the Community Success Panel meeting a couple months ago and talked about the criteria and what it means. And it's really about transforming an organization or a community. So Lou Mencia, do any of you know Lou? He is helping, he's sort of acting as our facilitator and coordinator. As someone who's retired, he has time to invest in doing the legwork, and he's been great about keeping us all grounded and coordinated. But it means that we are committing to a Zoom conference call twice a month with the folks at Baldridge to learn about their Community of Excellence framework and analyzing the assets that we have here in the community and how we can capitalize on them, what areas we may need to improve in. And I talked to Maureen a little bit about that maybe being a topic for our next city-county joint meeting, so that you all can get an update on.
That's a great idea.
What
Is
that
there
means.
like a tool that they use for measurement then?
There are some, but it's more subjective at first, Gay, and we haven't gotten that far into it. We just started last month in November. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm involved. And it's just an extension of the Community Success Panel. So I think that Kristen McDonald is on it, Kristen Stayhauer, Mary Greeley from the hospital, Tony Stamas, Maureen, Sharon, me. There might be one other person, and Terry Trotter from the Center for the Arts.
Yep.
So,
Is it an award for the community or the city? County or the
community,
city?
community. It's not the city or the county, it's for the Midland community,
Okay.
which is basically the
All
county.
of us.
Yeah. So, okay, and I just tossed a few printouts there. You can take a look at them and pass them on, and if you want, I will send you does anyone want the link to the site? No?
I don't need it.
Okay. Health Department, in an effort to help with the opioid issue in the community, we are implementing Narcan distribution programs in conjunction with the Health Department and other local organizations. We hadn't done that before, and we are now, which I think is probably really smart as an organization for us to do that.
Is that an out-of-pocket cost for us?
I think that we are getting that funded, Scott, but I'll confirm for sure.
Please.
We already have it funded through CMH for the sheriff's office and everything else, so. Okay, IT, number 3, we ran another know before simulation last week. You could have gotten one of 3 emails. I don't even know what they were. Honestly, I have I think one might have been a Kohl's thing. One might have been that you have a voicemail, and I can't remember what the third one was. But we have made great progress. We're down to only about 17 clickers from 73, which is huge. And that really,
It's probably just this board.
well, I wasn't gonna say anything. It's all 7 of you. No, we actually, I think, are making progress with people employees just being
fastest
aware,
delete button in
right?
the
Like,
last 3 weeks.
don't do this, pay attention to what you're looking at. Interestingly, I had 2 emails yesterday that said that there was a voicemail message waiting for me, and
I had one last week too. I was
Just
gonna
delete
just
it.
say, is anyone else getting those?
yeah,
I got one.
it
I
could
do delete it, but.
yeah, just delete it. It could have been this campaign.
Well, it doesn't matter, and you don't know which one, and it
Right.
doesn't, so
That's-
that's
so
where
ju-
it's
that's the
like,
whole point.
don't want any.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole point. So this is good for
There's-
us, because we want to, we want to protect our system as much as we can, and, having employees who are educated and understand what they should and shouldn't be doing helps them here and at their homes, right, with their own stuff, so.
Yes,
Have we done anything, a couple, 2-3 months ago, we got hacked. And then I was watching the morning news this morning in Pensacola is hacked right now, and they've been hacked since last Friday. The
Is
city of
it
Pensacola.
ransomware? Are they
What's that?
asking for a ransom?
I don't, it just said they can't take it. There's a bunch of things they can't do, but they're
Okay.
crippled, basically. I don't know the exacts on
Right.
what they are, but if we put more things in place
So-
to make sure that doesn't happen again
Yeah,
to
so
us, because it
good
sounds like
question.
they're targeting cities and counties.
Right, so that's a good question. So it was just our homepage on the internet that they took control of. If you had the link to a department, you didn't see any of that. So it was just the homepage. So we've done everything we can with the offsite company that's managing that server. We're still working with our, the company that, and I cannot remember the name of the new company that took over working on our website. And we're looking at hosting our information somewhere else. The IT folks have been very involved with the guy from the FBI, Anthony from the Bay City Post, who helped us with this case. It's actually a good thing that the hack was on our website, which is hosted offsite, because they couldn't access anything here. So we already have security in place here. The issue is, what do we do differently with either who's hosting our offsite internet, the web, or if we're gonna bring it in-house and put it on its own server. So we haven't made any other decisions yet about that, Mark, because we're still trying to figure out through the company, our company that's helps us manage our page.
can you,
I wouldn't be surprised if it happens, if they don't try to
Yeah.
get, it's
Well,
probably
all
not
of
a one-time
all
only,
of the
so.
passwords and all the everything has been changed.
Okay,
So they're not gonna get in again that way. If there's, look, these people will find a way to do
I know,
everything, right?
that's what, I guess my point is we gotta be as proactive as
Yeah.
possible and
Yep,
make sure we're trying to keep them out.
yep, and I think we've been doing a pretty good job up to this point. And that certainly, again, that I think was more an issue for the company that was hosting our page, because it was their servers. But we have had, I know Chris has gone and his team have gone, well, let me just tell you, I'm glad you brought that up. It brings me something else to mind. National Association of Counties is hosting 2 leadership academies, and we got $2,100 in scholarships for 3 people. The cost of the program was like $2,000 a piece. So I'm taking the Leadership Academy. It's a 3-month program. It's all online. It starts in January, and it's led by Colin Powell. They also have an IT cybersecurity 3-month leadership program, and both Chris and Andy are participating in
Good.
that.
Good.
So that's also a 3-month program. It'll take up our time. It's a good part of a Friday online, and I think maybe a Thursday. But if it, they're making it really, I think, easy for people to participate. They gave some scholarships. They're gonna, most of the interactive, they're like Zoom calls, most of them are interactive and live, but they're recording everything, so for some reason I have a conflict at a certain date and on a certain time, I can go back and watch it later. And you're probably gonna get emails about my participation, because I had